this review is going to have spoilers. So if you care and you don't want spoilers, don't watch. But I just finished Nicholas Sparks' The Rescue, and I'm going to review it while it's still fresh in my mind. And while, like, all of my emotions and everything are still, relevant. Because usually I'll wait and I'll, like, write out a review on Goodreads, and then I'll film it, like, the next day or something. But I'm just gonna do this one. It's a good day for it. Nothing else is going on, and yeah, everything's fresh. So, let's get into it. To begin with, this book was too long. It is 420 pages, including the epilogue, and it's too long. It didn't need to be that long at all. The first 60 pages is just searching for the main character's kid, which, yeah, okay, a brief rundown. It's Nicholas Sparks, so it's romance, of course. It begins with our main character, Denise, and we get told all about her life and her kid who has speech problems and problems like learning things and understanding. He's 4 years old, but still does not put more than a couple words together in his sentences, and that's like her big struggle with him, is just having to teach him how to speak and how to interact with people. Which, I've only read a few Nicholas Sparks novels, but so far they've all had children in them. So, do they all have kids? Like, do all of the characters have kids? Either their own kids or kids that are just, like, part of their life? I don't know. Anyway, so, okay, so we meet Denise and her son Kyle. And then, pretty immediately, Denise is in a car accident, and Kyle goes missing. And so, our other main character, the love interest, Taylor, is a volunteer fireman, and he finds Denise. It's a bad storm, whatever. He finds her and goes off to look for her kid. Calls in, like, the police and all the other firefighters, and they're looking for Denise's kid. And for 60 pages... Actually, is it more than that? Oh my gosh, it's more than 60 pages. Hold on. For almost 80 pages, actually, they're just looking for Kyle. So we go back and forth between everybody's looking for Kyle in the woods and it's stormy and they can't find him, and then we go back to Denise is at the hospital and Taylor's mom Judy is with her, and then we're back to they're looking for Kyle and they can't find him for 80 pages. I'm like, dude, it's the same thing. I'm not getting any information. I'm not getting to know the characters any better because literally Denise is just freaked out, which duh, it's her kid, and Taylor is looking for him because that's his job. So, like, I'm really not getting to know the characters. They're not interacting with anybody. The only person Denise is interacting with is Judy. And, again, she's distraught over the loss of her child, like, or the fact that he's missing. He's not, like, gone. But, anyway, so for 80 pages, don't care. Could have cut at least half of that. That could have been 15, 20 pages, maybe, and I would have been good. Then, for the next, like, 100 or so pages, honestly more than that, I didn't start caring until almost 300 pages in, I think. Maybe not quite. Okay, maybe like 200 pages. Anyway, for like the next 100 or 200 pages, I didn't really care. Denise and Taylor are like sort of getting to know each other, but we're just like seeing Denise's life as she goes to the diner and goes back, and Taylor sees her every once in a while and helps her, and then starts to see her more and more, and then they finally start dating, like, way into the book. And we get to meet some of Taylor's friends. Denise doesn't have any friends, so we don't meet any of her friends. It's just a lot of boring life. Like, it's not interesting living life with the character, it's just telling me what they're doing, not really letting me live with them. So I didn't really care. Taylor was really charming at first. He honestly was. But today when I sat down to read, I just read like the last almost 150 pages, I think. I just read the last of those today. I was like, I need to just get this done. I've been reading this book for way too long. So I finally finished it. But I started to not like Taylor, and I think he kind of reminded me of some people that I know and some not so good experiences. And there's nothing wrong with him. He is charming, but it just is clear that, like, yeah, he does need to grow up, and he does need to learn some things, and obviously he needs development. Like, that's the point of a book, is the characters can develop, but, you know, you don't figure that out really. Like, you know that he needs to grow a little bit, but everything seems great. Oh, no, that's another problem I have. Okay, so they're getting to know each other, and they finally start dating, and we see, like, a week of them dating, and then Nicholas Sparks is just like, okay, and July passed, and August passed, and now we're into September, and everything's been going great, and the relationship is great, and they see each other all the time, and everybody's great, and then things start to go wrong. And I'm like, you didn't let us actually see any of that with the characters, though. You just kind of glanced over all of it. Like, ooh, they've been getting to know each other. We still don't really know each other. We don't know them very well. They don't know each other well. Now they've gotten to know each other, and we just skipped the whole 3 months of them dating. So that was another problem I had, where, like, you skipped over all that. There was so much that we didn't need that could have been cut out and could have been condensed. And then you could have given, like, 15 pages or something, like even 10 pages to them living life and getting to know each other, like, and actually dating. Not getting to know each other. Getting to know each other in, like, a dating format. Or that sort of relationship. Because we just miss all of that. So, yeah, that's another problem I have. And then things start to go south, which, like, you know that they have to. But at this point, we're, 300 pages in? So I'm like, okay, what have we been doing? I don't know, I just feel like the point is these two characters, and we just see them both separately for so long, even though they're together, and then we don't get to see them together, and then we just see things going south. So I did think Taylor was charming, and I did like him, but the only thing we see in the relationship is him, like, pulling away, and not being able to deal with his emotions, and not being able to talk to anybody. I'm like, so I didn't really get to see what was so great about your relationship. I saw a little bit of it, and then we just missed it all. Yeah. But we do finally get to see Mitch and Melissa more, which I love Mitch. At this point, I was getting to think that, like, Mitch was the only character I really cared about and that I really liked. Because Kyle, he's a kid. We don't really see him. I mean, we see him a lot. He's a big part of the book and a big part of Denise's life. But I don't feel like he himself has a ton of development. I don't know. That's a tricky one because, you know, the way Nicholas Sparks is writing him is that he is a little bit strange and a little bit hard to get to know and doesn't say much and doesn't interact a whole lot. So that's fair. So, but anyway, so Kyle, I'm like, okay, he's a cute kid and all, but, like, eh. And then Denise, I never really felt connected to anyway. I'm like, I like her. She seems cool. She's taking care of her kid, whatever, but I never really felt connected to her. And then Taylor, I did like for a while until he started just being an idiot. And then I was like, okay, why do we care? Oh, and that's another thing. Okay, another part that took so much time that didn't need to was Nicholas Sparks writes this whole scene about Taylor rescuing somebody on this bridge. And the point of it is to show how stressful his job is and the types of bad situations he puts himself in and, like, the dangerous situations he puts himself in and how, like, he puts everybody else's life above his own, but, like, not in a really healthy thinking way. He kind of just, you know, makes everybody else really nervous and scared for him because he's putting himself in this situation when he maybe doesn't need to and maybe could have fixed it, whatever. And then he, like, has this it's really traumatic for him, and so then he goes to Denise and is like, I need you, I need to talk to you. And that's kind of what, like, kickstarts their actual relationship. So it is important. I just felt like it took too long to tell. There were too many details. It was too big. It was too large a part of the book. And I felt like it could have been cut down a little bit. Or I thought that, like, the man that he saved needed to be important somehow. Like, maybe this is Kyle's dad and it's going to cause some, you know, trouble in the book or something. Or, like, I don't know, he's going to be important somehow. No, the dude doesn't matter. He doesn't matter at all. We just, like, went through 10 or 15 pages of learning this. So I just felt like emphasis was put in the wrong places. And it made the pacing really weird, and it made the book feel really, really long and boring for most of it. I will say the last 50 to 100 pages I did enjoy. That was great. So it makes me want to, like, raise my star rating. I think I'm going to give it 3 stars. It wasn't anything super special. It wasn't, like, the worst thing. And the ending kind of helped to redeem it a little bit. Like, I felt like we finally got somewhere. Things were finally happening. I finally cared a little bit more. I still don't care a ton, but I was like, okay, this is easier to read, and I actually want to finish it. Okay. Back to Mitch and Melissa. So I like Mitch. I like Mitch a lot. Mitch is great. Mitch is funny. Mitch and Melissa are funny. I love them. I said, yes, give us more Mitch and Melissa. Because we'd seen Mitch interact with Taylor a couple times, and we'd seen Denise interact with Mitch and Melissa for, like, half a page, basically, for a very short period of time. So we'd seen them a little bit, but they finally all spent an afternoon together and, like, had dinner and whatever. and I just loved Mitch. I thought he was great. And I decided, I was like, you know what, Mitch is my favorite character. He's great, let me see more of him. I don't really care about Taylor and Denise anymore because I don't have a reason to. Like, not much has been happening with them, and now Taylor is getting all, like, distant and whatever, so who cares about them? I wanted to see more Mitch. I sort of got my wish, kind of, maybe, I don't know. He and Taylor get into it and have this big fight because Taylor is, you know, messing up and losing Denise and doesn't care, whatever. I was like, yeah, Mitch is right. Mitch is doing the right thing. Love Mitch. Immediately after that, there's this big fire that Taylor gets called to, and he's like, man, I've been feeling sorry for myself, and I should have been, like, helping these people, and so he runs out after who knows how much he's had to drink, by the way. I feel like that's just glossed over also, that, like, he is probably pretty intoxicated, but it's fine. So he goes to help, and he sees that Mitch's car is already there, and so I know, like, okay, Mitch is going to be in trouble. I should have called this from the very beginning, or I should have called this as soon as they, like, had this big meeting with Mitch. Actually, no, I should have called it way before, because Mitch has been trying to get out of the firefighting business. It's not a business. He wants to quit, and he's going to quit, and, like, he's going to give it a couple more months, and then he's going to quit, because he has this family that he has to raise, and he has to think about, and it's not fair of him to be risking his life when he has these 4 kids and this wife that need him, and so he's going to get out. I should have known immediately that meant that Mitch was going to die. There's your big spoiler. I should have known. But I did start to figure out that, like, something at least was going to happen to him. So every time Taylor went to, like, pull somebody from the fire, I was like, it's Mitch. It's going to be Mitch. It wasn't Mitch. And then he goes to save somebody else, and it's not Mitch. And then finally he goes in to rescue these last 2 people. He doesn't listen to anybody, and he just, like, runs into the fire and goes to save them. And he gets one of them out, and then, like, he's, you know, had so much smoke inhalation and can't breathe and, like, is gonna pass out. And I'm like, great, so you just saved one person but also got your butt stuck, and so now there's still gonna be 2 people who can't get out of the fire. Real smart, Taylor. Like, good job. You didn't really help anything. You just traded your life for somebody else's, which, okay, which is fine, but, like, which, I mean, you know that Taylor's not gonna die, but I'm like, you're gonna put more firefighters in danger because now they're gonna have to save you also. Like, you didn't fix the problem for anybody. And he ends up passing out, and then I knew, I was like, it was Mitch. He couldn't save Mitch. Mitch died. Great. The one character that I liked has now died. So yes, we see that Mitch died and left his family, and that's very, very sad and terrible because Nicholas Sparks gets you to care about him and then immediately kills him, basically. So that made me upset. So now Taylor's all, like, sad and brooding and has to get over himself, and everything happens really fast after that. So I felt like the first 2/3 of the book were so slow, and then everything just happened at once, where, like, Taylor has this other thing that he feels responsible for, and he felt responsible for his dad's death, and now he's dealing with both of these, and then, like, that's what, it's Mitch's death that gets him to realize that he's, like, self-sabotaging. I'm like, that just happens so quickly. It's literally, maybe it's a little bit more time in the book, but it feels like it's a week after Mitch has died, and he's, like, finally figured that out. Like, okay, so it took you however many years, took you, like, 20 plus years, not getting over your father, and then you are, like, you're not responsible for him dying, but you fail to save somebody else, and now you have figured out that, like, oh, I push people away, and it's not my fault, and so I need to let Denise back in, and I need to fix this. So it just happens really fast, and I'm reading, like, the last 15 pages, and Denise still isn't sure that she wants him back in her life. She's like, I don't know, you hurt me before, and I don't want you to hurt me again. You hurt my kid, and I don't want you to hurt him again, and, like, And then she just, like, lets him in. The last chapter, before the epilogue, was like, Kyle finally has this big breakthrough moment and, like, tells Denise that he loves her and is so thankful that Taylor is back in their life. And, like, at this point, you know, she still is not sure she wants Taylor back in their life. And then it immediately cuts to the epilogue where they're married and they have a baby. And, like, I knew that she was either going to be pregnant or they're going to have a baby in the epilogue, but it just felt like everything happened so fast at the end. The whole entire book dragged, and then everything happened way too fast. So the pacing is just off. So, yeah, I wouldn't recommend this one to anybody. Like I said, I've read a couple other Nicholas Sparks books. I read Dear John first, and I remember liking Dear John. I think it was a little bit slower paced, and I just don't read a lot of romance books, so they feel really slow to me because, I don't know, I either need my characters to be, like, really funny and engaging and then do life with them but, like, have fun things happening, or I need, like, a really action-packed book. And romance just doesn't give me that unless, like, if I can't connect with the characters, it doesn't give me that. But I did like Dear John, and I also read The Lucky One, and I do remember it being really, really slow at first, but not for as long as this one felt slow. And I really liked the main character a lot better. Like, I immediately I cared about him more, and I liked him. He had, like, more charisma or something, so I felt like reading it. Even though it was kind of slow and boring, I still felt like reading it because I liked him. So I liked The Lucky One. Do not like The Rescue. Wouldn't recommend. It's so slow and so boring. Honestly, 3 stars feels generous, but I'm giving it 3 stars because I'm a nice person, because it feels mean to give it 2 stars, because I did finish it, because the writing is okay. The writing's not that great, though. I feel like this is just really not Nicholas Sparks' best. Yeah, the writing wasn't even that good, so I really want to give it like 2 stars, maybe 2.5, and I'll round up to a 3. So yeah, that's my review of The Rescue. This is not as put together as some of my other reviews have been in the past. I didn't like write it all out and put it in sections. I wanted to come on here and like rant about it and give you an honest review in the moment while I'm still like thinking about it. And yeah, that's my honest review. It wasn't really worth it. And I'm really glad to be done now because I've been wanting to move on to other books. I don't know how long I've been working on this one, but it's been probably at least a month. Like, I think I started it in July, and it's now the end of August. I'll look that up, and I'll, like, put somewhere my start date and my end date, or you can go to my Goodreads. I will have it on there. I'm gonna have to mark it now, but it just took way, way too long, and I've been wanting to move on and, like, read more books, and like, for a couple of reasons. I want to finish my Goodreads reading challenge, I guess, the, like, yearly reading challenge. I'm behind on that because this one has taken me so long. And I also just want to like start reading the books on my shelf. I went through and I did an entire video on my physical TBR, and it made me see like what books I have and which ones I actually am interested in and care about, and I want to get to those. So this has just been like holding me back. I've been bogged down on this book. And I'm so glad it's over. And I probably won't keep it. I'm going to keep it for now, but the next time I do like a big unhaul, I think this one's probably going to go. I'm such a collector, and I want to collect like all the Nicholas Sparks books and all the John Green books and all the Michael Crichton books and whatever. But like I need to stop having that mentality and just get rid of some of them. So the next time I do an unhaul, I'll probably get rid of this one, but that might not be for a while. I just did one of those, so I'll keep it on my shelf for now. But yeah, this was not like the cutesy little summer romance I thought it was going to be, like the nice, quick, breezy summer romance. There was hardly romance in it, it felt like, because the build-up took so long. This is the definition of a slow burn. I don't mind a slow burn if other things are happening, or if there are other characters that we're seeing. But when you're literally just seeing these 2 characters, and you're only seeing their life, and it's a slow burn, that's too much. It's too slow. Other things need to be happening. Okay, I'll stop ranting. Yeah, there's my review of The Rescue. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe. That'd be awesome. And share this with your friends. If you want to see me review other books, like specific books, let me know. Check out my physical TBR video. I'll like do a little card thing and put it somewhere. I don't know which side that'll be on, but I'll try to add that into the video, and you can hop over there, see what books I have on my physical TBR, and start like leaving comments on which ones you want to see me read. Because I'm not going to be buying any more books in the near future, if I can help it. So at least for the rest of this year, I'm not going to be buying books. But yeah, you can see what books I do own and which ones I have to read, and let me know. I do know what I'm going to be reading next. I'm not going to tell you, but I'm going to be doing a reading vlog for a series that I own. So if you want to try to figure out what series that is, again, check out my physical TBR video, see what series I have, and then comment down below any guesses that you have on what I'm going to be reading next. I'm very excited for it. I was excited for this. I'm kind of sad now, and I'm not going to feel like reading Nicholas Sparks next summer, so I'm going to have to like get over that and read the other book I have. I think I have 2 more by him. So I'll get to those eventually, but anyway, that's the video. I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.